So you're growing a mustache for Movember, but do you realize you're just indirectly supporting the pharmaceutical industry? Hello Kindred Longevity Lifestyle Designers, this is Zach here, secretsoflongevity.com. Movember began in Adelaide, Australia with around 2003 or 2004 with a group of men banding together and wanting to promote prostate awareness, and they started growing mustaches for that purpose. And it snowballed from there and has spread to many countries, and it's a popular practice for during the month of November that people start growing a mustache and also collect donations to go towards prostate research, prostate cancer research. Now, it also, funding I am aware of, goes towards awareness of prostate issues, and this is very important. I think the awareness side of this is fantastic, and the push to get more focus on this is great, considering it gets a lot less attention than breast cancer does with the whole Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and actually the Breast Cancer Awareness sort of charity is actually a for-profit charity, and I'm glad to say that the Movember stuff is actually non-profit, so that's a big plus. It doesn't have sort of that industry side to it that a charity takes on when it is operating under that for-profit banner. So that's a definite plus, and I wholeheartedly think most people's intentions are in the right place. However, they are not aware of basic health and how things work in the body and where this research money is going. Here's a link to the YouTube channel Movember TV if you want to learn more about the whole movement and the research behind it. I'm linking to a specific video of a researcher talking, just because it's kind of brings awareness to what it is that the research is focused on, and that's going into the realm of genetics. And this is just silly research, a waste of money. If 20 million has been raised for prostate research, as he's saying in the video, and I think it's been a lot more than that, it's just that's obviously the amount that they've gotten at their research facility. And that just simply shows what a waste of time and effort this is. We know for a fact that genes are not causative agents in any disease. They're correlative, so they will have a predisposition. Someone can be born with a predisposition to something, but that doesn't mean you're going to get it. So this is really the bad basis of thinking that a lot of medical research is based on, this old paradigm of cause and effect where the cause is not actually the true cause. So you can always read the book Biology of Belief if you want to learn more about this, but I've also done a little video here you can check out on genes and genetics. This is more on the topic of longevity, but you can kind of get the same idea and apply that to any sort of genetic issue. Obviously there's genetic diseases specifically like Down syndrome and sickle cell anemia, which are not lifestyle based. They're actually genetic disorders, and there's, as far as we know, no known cure for them. But genes do not equal disease. You can have a predisposition for colon cancer because your father and your grandfather, or two people down your line, or someone down your line had it. And if you're doing the exact same thing in terms of your lifestyle, diet, exercise levels, a whole host of other things, yes, you have a very high likelihood of possibly contracting that. But if you're living a completely different lifestyle, that completely alters the protein sheath around the DNA that controls whether the genes are turned on or not. So if you're not doing things that are known to be risks of exacerbating or bringing about colon cancer, you really diminish that risk. And the same thing with prostate cancer. We don't need to be putting money towards these things. That is just a waste, because what they're wanting to do is create drugs that affect those genes when we already know lifestyle is massively able to impact all types of cancers. This flies in the face of most people's view of health because all they rely on is the mainstream media approach of what's being told about cancer, cancer research, and health in general. Most people are under the impression that you have to lower testosterone to prevent or even treat prostate cancer and prostate issues. However, if you look at the two links below, numbers 1 and 2, the first one is the PubMed study, and that's just the abstract that goes into the detail of that study. But link number 2 there is to the Harvard article on a Harvard website that is talking about that study, but it's also talking about how a lot of cancers, prostate cancers, that are treated with testosterone might shrink at first, but then they react because of the lack of testosterone. They down the road and start growing again. So we know clearly, also because the study is a wide-reaching sort of meta-analysis of 18 different studies, that testosterone can't be connected to this. In fact, they've looked at a variety of hormones and it's shown that those don't affect it. So yes, there's both sides to the debate still. Nothing's set in stone. But really, we have to wonder if people in their old age who have plummeting testosterone levels and are having all these health issues come up and have lived these lifestyles that people in the West live, eating non-organic food, not exercising, sitting around all day, allowing blood to pool in the lower abdomen. You know, you just think about that. Toxins build up where blood pools. So if you're not an active person, blood's going to be sitting in that lower extremities, and that's a prime recipe for any issue of that lower body area. You also have levels of xenoestrogens and the exposure to them. You have risk factors like smoking and other things. So really, you just have to clean up your act. And you can see from any testimonials from places like the Hippocrates Health Institute, all these other alternative cancer treatment facilities, which unfortunately, due to the mass suppression of their work, aren't allowed to publish their results, but they're very striking. Having been someone that's gone through the institute there, seeing people with stage 4 pancreatic cancer reverse it in a matter of weeks and be told by their doctors they've got less than a month to live, and they're still alive 2-3 years later with no signs of that cancer, because they've chosen to change and work on their lifestyle, which was the foundational cause in the first place. It had nothing to do with genetics. To learn more about how hormone-altering drugs can actually increase and later cause cancer to resume growing and have disastrous problems in it spreading, check out the third link below, which is a Natural News article which describes in great detail how this is a problem, and we really don't want to be tampering with the hormones, especially when it comes to cancers that are not estrogen-driven, but possibly androgen-based. So I know experiential testimonies do not stack up and have a lot of weight in the world of statistics and medical research. However, just the fact that they're there flies in the face of normal reason, and we really have to look at the motivations of these research facilities and who they're being funded by and what they're trying to accomplish. They're trying to get more money in the pocketbooks of the big industry giants, specifically whether it's the food industry, GMOs, soy, sugar, all those types of things. So that means that they're not going to be investigating those things for possible cancer risk links, and then they're also going to be looking at getting better things for drugs to come in and making it more acceptable for those drugs to be used. But really, we do not need this bullshit. We can actually rely on common sense and the well-researched, really effective natural health alternatives which have been out there, and you just have to use some common sense in looking at them and clean up your act, clean up your lifestyle. Be preventative about these things. Don't fall for these silly marketing campaigns. So the last thing you're going to see is these charities supporting the research of natural health options. It's really not in their best interest to support these things, and you have to ask yourself, why is that so? Why is there such a big suppression around things that we know work because they're more in line with what nature intended? So with that, check out the links below for those two references I mentioned. Check out that YouTube channel if you want to learn more about it, and don't grow a mustache for Movember. Do something else. Tell people about your thoughts on it if they're asking you for donations or looking all smug with a mustache. So with that, subscribe, favorite the video, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care and embrace life without limits.